Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. Haha. Boy, I tell you, ABC, what a viper's den. What a viper's den. They want to change the rules now for Kamala and Trump doing their debate. So we'll see what Mr. T's got to say about that. Boy, every time they bring up that Donna Brazil, what right in front of people's faces, rigging debates, cheating like she did with Hillary. People don't even know. Most people don't even know. Donna Brazil is air quotes married to Muriel Bowser, DC mayor, who defaces the American flag and allows people to trash monuments and allowed people to riot when Trump was in office and almost burned down the St. John's Church. People don't pay attention to that. They not the ones on the left who have given themselves a T and then DS lobotomy. So anyway, we'll see what Mr. T's got to say about all that stuff and some of his posts, and I hope you all got a chance to watch him laying the wreath there for the 13 soldiers who were slain at Abbey Gate. And man, the level of ignorance on the other side, the remaining survivors on the other side of the fence, namely the stupid brigade that have no idea economics, no idea the nation's history. All they know is to insult Trump and repeat falsehoods and slurs and childish comments. But anyway, I don't let it bother me. Yeah, I do. Hi, Joan. How you doing? Diane, nice to see you. Sandy, Michael, Sissy, Sherry, Kim, nice to see you all. Doc's in the house. Gary, Gary's here. Yeah, it was heartbreaking. The young lady in the wheelchair. I had a thumbnail I was going to put up with all 13 on the screen. It was a hard choice, what to put on my thumbnail, but it was so touching of a ceremony to see her with President Trump. And so anyway, there were people in the comments. Most 90% of them were for Trump. I'll say 80%. But then you see the bots and the paid trolls and just regular ignoramuses. The one with Cheetos crumbs all over their T-shirt, sitting in the mother's basement. That kind of crowd coming in. And I got a screenshot of one of their comments, just ignorant. And I have to be careful. I don't want to get say something to them where I'm bullied. So anyway, gives you an idea what the professional commentators, the ones who get paid 35 cents a comment or whatever, they get the talking points and you get a feel for what way they're going to go. And they're running out of ammo. They really are. Of course, right away with this one was a live stream of Trump putting the wreath up. And after the live stream, the hard comments were coming in talking about bone spurs. And never mind the fact that Trump's got a scar on his ear where he took a bullet. Okay. And service to your country. Look what he's been doing, what he's been going through for the last 10 years. So, yeah, I'll put stuff like that in there in a nice tone. Don't use any bad words. And it's hard for them to argue it. That's right, television shows, digital idiots. Ann's here. Yeah, Jill Stein has endorsed Tulsi. Of course, Tulsi Gabbard endorsed him today. It was very nice. And he went to a Vietnamese restaurant and in Virginia, part of the DMV, and he is. There's polls there that show him tied or even in the lead, and the voter rolls have been given an enema in Virginia. I think that is. I don't think it's any question in my mind. I don't want to sound overconfident, but the Vietnamese population, let me tell you something, they are large in Northern Virginia. That's what if you ever hear anybody use the term Nova, Northern Virginia area, Nova. I heard a commentator using that term, and I said, what's, oh, Northern Virginia, Nova. And every time you see an electoral map, that northern chunk of Virginia is blue, and everything south and west is red. They've got such a massive amount of people there, but Vietnamese immigrants are plentiful, and now remember, they started coming here after the fall of Saigon. During and after the Vietnam War, from the mid-70s on, we're talking 45 years. We're talking generational. And I can tell you what, I've done business with some Vietnamese people, and I had friends, and I had a lady friend a while back that was Vietnamese, and I tell you, I ain't never met one that wasn't Republican. Okay? They don't like communism. The stories I've heard and the things we witnessed with the helicopter taking off of the roof of Saigon and people trying to get on planes, handing their kids up to the plane with a little piece of paper on their shirt with a safety pin, just has their name. And that's what happened to a friend of mine. A little child handed up to an airplane. That's the last she saw of her parents, them running down the runway. And once Ho Chi Minh and all the commies took over, people who were business people, they were summarily done away with. That's what happened to her parents. Deep, deep, deep scars, and they never go away. And the stories are told to future generations that made it out. And so he was in there and endorsed Hong Cao for the Senate. He would be the first Vietnamese senator in Virginia. You can believe that is going to bring a motivated block. Not only that, but regular MAGA, and Republicans, people that are sick of this stuff that's going on, but you're going to have an activated Vietnamese community, and those are some hard-working people, dedicated, hard-working. So, yeah, Harris wants to change rules. Hi, Lone Wolf. How you doing? A Google account. How are you? Angela. Yeah, Texas. I've got a letter from Greg Abbott. I'm going to go over that. Cleaning up the voter rolls. Let's see. Yeah, a television shows a huge coalition. People jumping on the Trump train. Jill Stein, she's loop-de-doop. She, there's pictures of her vandalizing a bulldozer and, the usual green bean. Hi, Em, how you doing? Bill, how you doing? Wayne, how you doing? Can I go back any farther? I don't know. But anyway, she got put through the ringer. And one thing that Kennedy and Jill Stein is putting out, how the three-letter agencies plant people in their own campaigns, and those people actually do things that are very questionable, pretending like they're dumb, but trying to get the campaign in trouble. So we were told Bob Manafort, a plant in the Trump campaign in 2016. He didn't know it, but he was put in there just to get charged with something from a 10-year-old formerly dismissed charge. They think of everything they can. Pappy Two Bears, how you doing? Benjamin. So, what do they? What's Kamala want? She want a easy chair, like Archie Bunker, or whatever, a glass of wine, notes, and then Trump's got to go stand on his head. And if he doesn't agree to it, she'll say he's checking it out. Trump was asking what name he should give her. I say cowardly Kamala. Coward Kamala. So Trump, he could give a hoot about the rules. I don't think he's going to go for sitting at a table, because he said that before. You don't sit at a table. If a presidential debate, you stand up at the podium and you have a debate. I would say, just like the Nixon Kennedy debates, just like the Carter Reagan, just like the Mondale Reagan, just like Bush Dukakis presidential debate, you stand at the podiums, just like people have been debating in colleges for 100 years. None of this gimmicks of trying to act like you're on the Johnny Carson show or sitting around on stools at a town hall. They cooked up that crap during George Bush's second term, and I think he went along with it to. He was passing the baton to the Clintons, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, Chicago. That's the remnants of the Daily Machine. Yeah, hit that like button, Angela says. Yeah, they might get a rubber face for somebody to stand in. But you know what? With these alcoholics, I think she's an alcoholic, a functioning alcoholic. They got to time it just right for her to be sober. And because if they don't let her have it, she's going to be aggravated, agitated, won't be able to think straight. If they, just let me have one. They give them one drink, and okay, if it starts to wear off in the middle, you start getting a little shaky and needing a little. I'm not kidding you. It's powerful stuff when you're hooked on it like that. Yeah, I am speaking, Lone Wolf. I've seen a lot of creators talking about her wanting to leave the mics on so she could angle for a, excuse me, I am speaking moment. Yeah, Mr. T said tamp on Tim today. Yeah, she probably did have a few days, Debbie. But anyway, they give them some kind of medicine that calms them down when they don't have a drink. And I don't think she can function without having a couple of snorts. So we'll see how that plays out. But she's probably trying to get the debate canceled. Who does that? Who does that? I mean, September's right around the corner. It's debate time. It's coming. It's knocking on the door. And by the way, I want to have live mics all the time. I want to have notes, and I want to be sitting down. Never mind that I'm cheating by doing Joe's second debate, so I don't have to do two. Hi, MS. How you doing? So I'm going to call her Coward Kamala. Kamala the Coward. So let me see here. We've got. They're trying to make some changes. I saw a video where they're trying to kick some what they call pro-Trump board members off the election board in Texas. And the article I saw said that Greg Abbott was considering it. But, that's the press putting that out there. Remember, not Abbott. What's his name? Kemp. I got them mixed up. Kemp and Trump has had a truce. Okay. And right away, the next day, you have these people petitioning the governor to take these board members off of the election board who want to delay the time when they have to certify, because the game they've been playing with these debates, with these certifications of elections, they don't give people time for challenges. Okay. They want to certify them very quickly so nobody can peek. So the election board voted to extend the time where it's required for the Secretary of State to certify the votes. That's one of the weak points that we used to have, is a very fast certification. Because then if you try to contest it, they say, oh, it's already been certified. So I ran across this video. It said, Georgia Governor ponders call to remove state election board members. Governor Brian Kemp's office said it is evaluating calls from Democrats to remove members of the state election board. Well, they had a guy up there speaking, and he's wearing this dish rag around his neck and down his shoulders with checkerboards. I guess that's supposed to show solidarity to the Palestinians, saying that these are pro-Trump board members and they should be removed. They didn't play his whole chit-chat, but I can guarantee you they brought up the usual line of, we don't want people in positions of authority that participated in the only insurrection ever in American history. So Kemp is like, okay, he's getting these signatures from these morons, these pro-Palestinian, what in Georgia, running the state of Georgia, is somebody running around with a dish rag around their shoulders trying to kick people off of an election board. But they're doing it. And I think it's a good way to get names, okay? Get names. Get statements from these people that are actionable. Because just before I went live, I saw Judge Napolitano on with another commentator about a teacher who was fired by school board members because these school board members said they went to the Capitol on J6. The teacher wasn't charged with anything. They just fired him because they're Trump supporters. Well, the teacher sued the school board and won $125,000 back pay, but also 2 of the board members had to personally cough up $6,000. One of them had to cough up, and $500 was the second one. I don't know what the disparity in that amount was. And I said, personally, Judge Napolitano said that, that they're always good. These bureaucrats are always good to making sure that they don't ever have to pay a personal cost. He said, but where these attorneys got it right, and other attorneys are going to follow suit, is you ask for punitive damages on top of, I guess, compensatory damages. And punitive damages by law cannot be paid by anybody else but the person who is at the receiving end of the punishment, the punitive damages. So they got to pay up out of their own pocket. I'm wondering if this isn't going to play into what's going on with these clowns in Georgia, trying to get people kicked off the electoral board. We'll see how it plays out. But it also tied into another video that said Georgia election board makes controversial rule change. And that's referring to the ability to slow down that certification till everything can be checked out. Yeah. Hi, Roland. How you doing? Ravens. Jerry, how you doing? Canis, how you doing? I had me a pork loin today. Boy, that was good. Melinda. No, I don't think Kemp's going to bend over. I don't think he's going to bend over. I think Trump gave the signal, okay? Kemp's going to be a little, he's going to reel him in. Hi, Tracy. Nice to see you. That's right. The next 6 weeks will be big. People are picking sides. And like RFK said, he had an interview and he said there's going to be a lot every day this week. We're going to be seeing more Democrat defections. And so Jill Stein, I don't know how much her credibility will with Republicans, but if they take the tack that the Democrat Party has been transformed, it's corrupted, it's in bed, it's in league with the establishment, what the Dems purportedly used to be against. If they take that tack, more power to them. Now, Cornel West, he's I don't know if he can repair his reputation to the point where the majority of Americans will take him seriously. That's up to him. I mean, he can do it, but he needs to straighten up his rhetoric and quit being so aggressive, and tell the story about what they did to your campaign. Trump never did anything to him. "71 days, if there is one." That's right. That's right, Melinda. He might flip the script. Tulsi Gabbard, in her speech, she said, walk us back from the brink. Walk us back from the brink. And update about this Telegram thing, this guy getting arrested. They put out, it was hard to read. I'm sure I'll get a better copy on Telegram somewhere. But the actual indictment of this Telegram CEO, they hit him up with 12 charges. Okay, all of them felonies, all of them carrying huge prison time. Some of them have to do with child porn. Ain't that something? How many movie directors has France sheltered that have been on the lam for messing with kids? I'd like to see Macron's Telegram account, his air quotes wife. Check their story out. How old was he? All right, but here they're gonna put that stuff on. But anyway, Telegram put out an alert about Apple. Apple is trying to censor free speech by removing your ability to communicate. The Telegram app is being removed from the App Store and automatically deleted from iPhones without user knowledge or consent. Holy cow, what do you do in a situation like that? If you got an Apple iPhone, well, in the same communications, Telegram says, follow these steps to avoid the unwanted deletion of your Telegram app and any other apps you may want to keep on your phone. And they put 5 steps in showing the iPhone screen time, content and privacy restrictions, how to turn that on, how to go to it, and how to hit don't allow deleting apps. 5 easy swipes of the finger, and they can't not delete your app. So that goes to show, once again, just what General Flynn said. Telegram was the best bet for having stuff that the governments couldn't penetrate. And hey, that's what this is all about. They wanted the ability. They wouldn't be doing this if they could get in and not tell anybody what they're doing. This is an admission that they failed with Telegram. They failed. So they're going to do it through force. Holy cow, let's see. Oh, Bev and Mike went to buy me coffee. I appreciate that, Bev and Mike. I must be on the big screen. That's great. Thank you very much for going buy me a coffee. 11 minutes ago. Okay. Let me see what else we got going on here. Macron put out a statement. Where is that? When I get to it, I'll read it. Oh, here it is. Emmanuel Macron. I have seen the first information regarding France following the arrest of Pavel Durov. France is deeply committed to freedom of expression and communication, to innovation, and to the spirit of entrepreneurship. It will remain so. Well, Emmanuel, I thought in your general direction. Anyway, it goes on to say, in a state governed by the rule of law, freedoms are upheld
within a legal framework, both social media and in real life, to protect the citizens in respect to their fundamental rights. It is up to the judiciary, full independence, to enforce the law. The arrest of President of Telegram on French soil took place of an ongoing judicial investigation. It is in no way a political decision. It is the judges who have to rule on the matter.
Okay, we believe you. Wait till Trump gets back in, buddy. How much you want to bet here they'll let him go? He's part of the collaborators, Vichy French. All you got to do is just go there, go to Google Play, or have a friend send you an invite. Hi, Yvonne. Nice to see you. Exactly right, Gary. They've got to tell us what they're up to. He has to convince us to stray. One thing that Trump mentioned today was that there was a morale problem. A morale problem. In the past, last year, he mentioned that there was a spiritual problem. And since he was talking to the military, he was saying that, the morale as far as Americans are concerned is low because of repeated abuses. And it also could be taken in the context that of a moral problem, depending how you read it. They're both spelled the same way. Morale and moral. So anyway, I'm convinced that there is a worldwide Prince of Lies, people that worship the Prince of Lies. I've got a copy of the charges, but it is so small. I'll try two of them. Let's see: complicity, criminal association, laundering proceeds, having cryptology, providing cryptology tool, importing cryptology. So that's the basics of the charges. Complicity, and they're talking about things like child prawn and whatever else. Hi, Linda. Yeah, nobody surrenders quicker than a Frenchman. The French, they are a funny race. They fight with their feet and they do something else with their face. Let's see. Trump visits a Vietnamese restaurant in Northern Virginia. And that is where he stopped in after the wreath laying ceremony. And he is going to you're going to see a lot of Trump signs going on. Oh, Thomas Crooks's father hires a criminal defense attorney. Have you all heard that? They had hearings today about what happened with Mr. T's attempt on his life. And Dan Bongino put up a fiery introductory, about how badly things are being handled there by the higher-ups. But anyway, father of Trump's shooter, Thomas Crooks, hires powerhouse criminal lawyer.
FBI agents are continuing to probe just how much the parents of Trump shooter Thomas Crooks knew ahead of the assassination attempt in Pennsylvania 6 weeks ago. This is where I use a special effects that goes dun dun dun. So I'm just looking through the chats. But the House Judiciary Committee, they are busy. Now, I know that doesn't amount to much in most cases. Many of us sat through watching Trey Gowdy playing patty cake for years with Hillary Clinton on the House floor. Big investigation. But it's going on now and bearing fruit. The latest, it came out from House Judiciary Committee on X. Mark Zuckerberg just admitted 3 things. 1, Biden-Harris administration, quote, pressured Facebook to censor Americans. 2, Facebook censored Americans. 3, Facebook throttled the Hunter Biden laptop story. Big win for free speech. And then there's a letter from Zuckerberg. I'm not going to read it all. I'll go over some of it, but I do want to mention about ABC throttling the Jeffrey E. story. When's that going to come around? And I think that's going to be criminal charges. I think Zuckerberg is trying to avoid criminal charges. Here's the letterhead to the Honorable Jim Jordan, Chairman, Committee on the Judiciary. And Zuckerberg sent this out and admits in 2011, senior officials from the Biden administration, 2021, including the White House, repeatedly pressured our teams for months to censor certain CV-19 content, including humor and satire, and expressed a lot of frustration with our teams when we didn't agree. Oh, the House Judiciary didn't mention that. But they were whipping up, forcing Meta to whip up hysteria. What do you do that when you scare a populace? You terror, ism. That's what it is. When you terrify people. I agree, Gary. I agree. They've gotten him by the back of his neck and shaking him around, a little peanut brain bouncing around inside his skull. Oh, cow, I don't want my stand to fall over here. I'm pecking at my, changing stuff on my screen. So the Babylon Bee put out something. Says study shows 9 out of 10 astronauts choose to be stranded in space rather than board a craft built by Boeing. So they are in a publicity pickle, okay? Do they have Elon Musk go up and rescue those astronauts? Every day they're up there is a danger. Something else will go wrong. Every day. Every hour. Or are they going to try to do it on their own and have a failure? Boeing can't take it. And I read an article where
who knows the qualifications of these people, but that Musk going up there would be safer than Boeing. I don't know. But they better be doing something. Whoever can get up there the quickest. Not just a company's product, but a company's judgment. Here's that article. A win for the teacher filing a lawsuit over J6 claims that it affected his career and livelihood, or her career. Teacher fired after alleged J6 involvement wins wrongful termination lawsuit. And that was Judge Nappy Nap on that, where they held them personally responsible. I would take it, that's for affecting their livelihood. Wouldn't it be nice if they uncovered some posts that were libelous and slanderous? That would be a separate issue, in my opinion, and sue their eyeballs out of their head. Kid Rock put out an X that said the longest filibuster in history was 75 days. Can you imagine that, being up on speaking for 75 days straight? It took place in 1964 when Democrats tried to block the Civil Rights Act. It would be a shame if you shared this. I'm going to keep that in my phone, save that for a picture show. A picture show. That's what happened to me, Lori. I was in jail every time I turned around. Yeah, but I need to get back on Facebook now that they're in trouble and have to respect free speech. I need to get going on there and get some work done. Work meaning connecting with people and changing hearts and minds. Campaign stops this week. Wow. Trump and Vance are going to be today, Virginia and Michigan. They already did that. Thursday is going to be Wisconsin and Michigan. Friday is going to be Pennsylvania, and Vance will be in Michigan Tuesday. So there we got an idea of how things are going to be going. Let me see. Harris is going to be in Georgia Wednesday, Georgia Thursday. And in Walsh is going to be Georgia Wednesday. So they're going this week, they're going to spend all their time in Georgia. While Trump and Vance are going to be in 4 different states. I'm telling you, they can't keep her sober enough. She couldn't match Trump's schedule. She's 20 years more, 25 years younger than Trump. And she couldn't match his schedule. But a lot of it's got to do is that she's just a drunk. You can't do nothing with them. Just looking through the chat. Let's see. Politico. They put out a thing about the debates. Is this thing on? Harris and Trump battle over hot mics. I don't think Trump's not really battling. His team is, but not him. I saw some stuff come on my news feed today about USPS. I said, oh boy, here we go. You know, we really got to keep an eye on them because they're going to play a big role. They're going to play a big role in the upcoming selection. USPS considering slower mail delivery for some areas. I said, oh, I better click on that, which I did. A whole row of top stories. USPS could slow service in certain areas as it seeks to cut costs. Postal Service considering slowing delivery to rural areas, according to the Postmaster General. Oh. Then I clicked on why is USPS so slow lately? Well, they say there are two main reasons for the USPS delays. First, the Postal Service is strained by the increased shipping volume resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic. Second, recent changes implemented by USPS Postmaster General Louis DeJoy have resulted in slowdowns. So here they're still trying to hang their hat on COVID. But there's something rotten in Denmark with that postal business. We discussed that a couple of broadcasts ago. So yeah, I saw, I think it was Lone Wolf, or somebody mentioned in the comments about them trying to revamp, that they're still going after the J and then 6 people, still trying to make new arrests. Wouldn't that be something if the teacher that won that back pay and judgment against those 2 board members got arrested? Oh my God, maybe then would get national headlines. But Jack Smith is trying to revive his standing since Eileen Cannon ruled that he is ineligible to prosecute Trump. So all the usual pundits are coming out with their garbage. And I listened to Robert Gavoya. He was reading over the motions. And somebody grasp of legalese and a really introductory level to filings and what cases people put forth could see that it's a bunch of puffery and garbage they're putting on appeal of Eileen Cannon. You couple that kind of JV nonsense being carried on with these attorneys that are doing YouTube channels and spewing vitriol and incitement and falsehoods. Boy, I tell you what, you got a recipe there to really start collecting law licenses like scalps. Special counsel urges appeals court to revive Trump's classified documents case, CBS News. I have to say that there has got to be a thorough documentation going on with this. I mean, taking names, and you know the other half of that saying, kicking, you know what? Somebody's taking names and going to be kicking cans. Trump came out today and he said this is a fight between communism and freedom. I think it just has to be a hard and fast statement that communism requires servitude. It requires tyranny, and therefore it is an anathema to the Constitution. Okay, and if you espouse communism, it's just like you running around saying we need to reinstitute slavery. There's no difference, but it hasn't been stigmatized like it should be through lack of education. Here is Governor Abbott's announcement that over 1 million ineligible voters removed from voter rolls. That's in Texas. Governor Abbott announced today that since signing Senate Bill 1 into law in 2021, Texas has removed over 1 million people from the state's voter rolls. They moved out of state, are deceased, non-citizens. That removal process has been and will continue to be ongoing. So they have a list of how many people there were and what different types of situations there were, many things I just read out. That's going to put a big dent in their efforts. In 2017, the governor signed Senate Bill 5, which increased the penalty for election workers who knowingly permit non-citizens and other ineligible people to vote. $457,000 deceased people. 457,000 deceased people. Unreal. I'm just checking to see what's going on. RFK Jr., he had internal polling. And his internal polls showed that 66% of the people that support him would vote for Trump if he was not in the race. And this is from Clandestine. RFK Jr. admits his presence in the race was detrimental to Trump and would help Harris get elected. If these numbers are accurate, then Trump can expect a net increase of roughly 3 million votes nationwide. Okay, that's good. That's an average of 60,000 plus net votes for Trump per state, which could easily flip swing states races, which most were decided by 10 to 20,000 votes in 2020. Obviously, they wouldn't get distributed that evenly, but you get the point. He may have saved us from Kamala. Well, I tell you, if it's that close, I don't think we need our RFK to win in an honest election. But we do need RFK moving forward for unity. To start to bind the nation's wounds, so to speak. Former Democrat Tulsi Gabbard officially endorsed Trump and joins the campaign. It's not much a surprise, but a reminder that sane Democrats are fleeing what has become of the DNC. She will serve a vital role
in appealing to female and center-left voters, and sounds like she will have a role in the upcoming administration. She was also the first politician to speak out about bio labs in Ukraine. Oh, really? Yep, she sure was. Both she and RFK Jr. have been vocal about that subject. Something's going to hit the fan over those labs. Boy, I tell you what, I saw a lot of comments about the Kennedy family dissing Robert Kennedy Jr. People say, who cares about him? His own family can't stand him. He's going over to Donald Trump, you know, from the TDS haters. So Trump posted a letter from, an open letter to RFK's sister. Let me see. An open letter to Carrie Kennedy, Tammy Bruce. And Trump said it's one of the best letters he's ever read. And it is wordy, but bear with me. I'm going to read the most salient points, if not the whole thing. Open letter to Carrie Kennedy. You people are awful. Despite your family's checkered past and horrible behavior of so many of the men, Americans have stood with you out of loyalty, sentimentality, and too often grief. Despite the questionable establishment of your family's wealth, the treatment of Marilyn Monroe, the general womanizing, the abandonment of Mary Jo Kopechne to her death, allegations of rape, one could go on and on. But the point is your family stayed loyal and protective of family members who have done the most appalling of things. Wow, that's a heck of a start to the letter. And for those of you, most of you do know, but for those that don't, the Kennedy wealth is said to have started from bootlegging, okay? Bootlegging in the Al Capone era in the 20s and 30s. A rum runner. That's what they used to call Kennedy Sr. And Mary Jo Kopechne was riding in a car with Ted Kennedy and went off a bridge. And he went on along drunk, didn't come around till the next day or so. Left her in there to drown. Okay, people are going to look that up. Chappaquiddick Bridge. Okay, so she goes on to say, but the moment one of your own acts on his conscience for this country, you attempt to throw him to the wolves and publicly condemn him. Never a word for the trail of abused and abandoned women left behind by a Kennedy. But because of one of your men supports Trump in an effort to make the lives of Americans better. That alone is beyond the pale. In your ugly treatment of your brother, you reveal the rot that has broken the hearts of the American people so many times over the years. Beyond that, the economic destruction of American families is something your family would never truly understand. I have to make sure I still have a connection before I finish up. So it's pretty powerful thus far. You keep doing civil rights work and public service virtual signaling, but in the meantime, make a pledge to not keep doing damage, as Americans simply are looking for a way to reclaim their futures, the safety of their families, and knowing that maybe, just maybe, they can leave their children a little better off with a future they can rely on. The condition of this country should shock everyone, even if their name is Kennedy. So we got to pass this letter around. Get on Truth and get a copy of it and put it on Facebook. He closes by saying, we know it at least shocks one of you who, like us, had enough of the fear and the hopelessness assigned to us for generations. Americans are happy to see Bobby on our side as we refuse to comply and will not go gentle into the catastrophes which we are expected to succumb. Instead, with Trump and all who join us, we will fight, fight, fight. So bravo to her. Talk about speaking truth to power. The Kennedys, they still got a lot of political pull. Yeah, me too. I would like to see her face when she read it. They're so arrogant, though. They're so arrogant. They stick their noses up in the air, just like Hussein Obama. Did you ever notice him? Pokes his nose up in the air and looks down his nose every time he goes to an event. Who's he think he is? Let me see what's going on. Who wrote that? Him? Let me go back in here and see. I said her name. Holy cow, where'd it go? Holy cow. I got so many different articles in here. Well, it's on, here it is. Tammy Bruce. Tammy Bruce on Twitter. Or X. Tammy Bruce on X. If you want to look it up. Put it on whatever you got, whatever you're on. If you're just on Facebook or whatever, and you know you got a channel, a YouTube channel, all you got to do is take a screenshot of it and go into YouTube Studio, have the picture of the letter up on the phone, and scroll along and read the letter out. And then say, Letter to Kennedy by Tammy Bruce. Over and out. Ha ha, you'll have your first YouTube video. Ha 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 ha. Hey, it's worth a try. Worth a try. So anyway, Fawny Willis, the attorney everybody likes for Trump, Sadow, he did a filing about getting Fannie the heck out of the picture in Georgia, and it's pretty powerful stuff. That church speech she gave should be enough to have her sanctioned, not just kicked off the case against Trump, but she should be sanctioned. And Sadow put up a very compelling situation or argument for that, even though McAfee just took the one, her boyfriend off. So she's still under fire, and it's going to get hotter for her. Somebody on Twitter or X put up this. I'm going to repost it, I guess. Zaid Smith. She said they just announced that Kamala Harris, border czar, back out of the debate because they won't let her bring note cards, have a chair for her to sit in, and give her the questions beforehand. Ha 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 ha. And creepy James Carville was on CNN bringing that old fossil out. He said last time he was on, he said he was making fun of J.D. Vance, saying, well, what we say out in the country is that boy ain't right. He just ain't right. So they went from weird to that boy. There's something wrong with that boy's head. That boy ain't right. Well, I'll tell you what, Carville, I'm from the country, and I'll tell you this. That kind of talk's a good way to get your nose twisted, okay? But now he's saying, James Carville says that RFK Jr. should be locked up in a mental institution. So, you know, that kind of ugly talk, okay, that kind of phony country talk and stuff, it's going to turn a lot more people off than you realize. Hi, Angel. How you doing? I'm going to read this from Donald J. Trump. I watched the ABC fake news this morning. Both lightweight reporter Jonathan Karl, ridiculous and biased interview of Tom Cotton, who was fantastic, and their so-called panel of Trump haters. And I ask, why would I do the debate against Kamala Harris on that network? Good question. This is where he brings up Donna Brazile. Will panelist Donna Brazile give the questions to the Marxist candidate like she did for crooked Hillary Clinton? Will Kamala's best friend, who heads up ABC, do likewise? Where's little George Slopadopoulos hanging out now? Will he be involved? They've got a lot of questions to answer. Why did Harris turn down Fox, NBC, CBS, and even CNN? Stay tuned. So I'm going to stay tuned. When is Comrade Kamala Harris going to start asking questions? She's a radical left, no fracking Marxist. And the public needs to know what she stands for, which is poverty and failure for America. Kamala refuses to do interviews because she has, in capital letters, no confidence in her own level of, quote, intelligence, and now wants to change the rules of the debate on ABC fake news. When I started broadcast, I said, fake news, ABC was a viper's den. That is going to be so skewed. Let's see what happens. What's your all's guess? Is Trump going to tell them to forget it? Is Trump going to... Or Trump going to say, all right, let's just play your stupid little game. I don't think he's going to go with it if they make him sit. He's not going to want to. She doesn't deserve to sit at the same desk or table as Trump. She hasn't earned it. She's gotten 0 votes. She's a desperation plant. I think Trump might just agree with everything as long as they stand her up behind a podium. They can let her stand on a box if she's worried about her height. I don't know about that, Ian, but what's going to come out about Walsh? Something's going to come out about that. Like Carver said, he ain't right in the head. Turns out that most of his 30 trips to China was taking students. That freak. I agree, Gary. This is the greatest time to be alive. We've talked in the past how many generations, how many our parents, our grandparents could see this coming, this where you come to the edge of the destruction of the most insightful document, the most durable republic ever written in the history of mankind, even thousands of years ago, the Greeks. And we're coming this close to losing it. My parents got wind of it, knew something was very, very wrong. And all the generations before. So Ian says he'll debate. Well, they don't put it out there that she's afraid of Trump. They're creating, some kind of phantom candidate that for unprincipled people, they can, in their mind, mold her into whatever they fantasize about being an effective leader, when she's nothing but a drunk and a tramp. Montel's spare tramp. She wasn't Montel's main tramp. She was a spare tramp in case the other one broke down or he had to go in the shop. You don't think she'll do it, Ravens? I don't know. It's all how it plays out. I like the way Trump handled it today. He said, I don't care if the mics are on or off. But she wants to be able to put her finger in the air and say, excuse me, I'm speaking. And then all the people are going, hey, she told him. Well, I don't know if I should read this or not. But it shows you how stupid they are in the comments. When Trump was talking about what happened at Abbey Gate, this one idiot named Corrales Coyote put up there, called him your orange Jesus. See, your orange Jesus tried to say Abu Ghraib, and he said Abby Gabby. As a super smooth move, he said Abby Gabby means Afghanistan. Get it? What is this idiot talking about? Also, he doesn't understand that he sounds stupid and unimaginative by saying quote, they're so stupid, there just isn't another word I can use. He doesn't know what a thesaurus is. So I responded to him that he was saying Abby Gate, not Abby Gab. And you're trying to diss Trump and you have no idea what Abby Gate is. You're showing what a moron you are. Well, he erased my comment. But it shows you right there, the trolls don't even know what Abby Gate is. Abby Gate is the checkpoint where a suicide bomber showed up. And there were warnings being put out. The chain of command was all whatever. And 13 people lost their lives. And you see that young lady in a wheelchair. So anyway, I put the comment back in where he couldn't erase it, and told me he's just a moron. Don't even know what Abby Gate is, and talking out of his backside. So this was today's the third anniversary of that with that botched withdrawal. Third anniversary. Wow. You know, we thought there would be some kind of change in the guard, something happened, a mass arrest years ago. Oh gosh, this has got to be it now. So now we know, we've at the very least got to keep trudging. And then after whatever the debacle is on the November 5th, hey, I'm going to be in there part of that debacle. And whatever happens, we've still got to get to January 20th. Merrick Garland came out and he mentioned J6. And he said, alluded to an upcoming J6. So we'll see. Just looking here. Yeah, if they're still on the fence, good luck with that. But I'll be very interested to see who is going to be coming. Now, did they have, oh gosh, I mentioned him in the past. Civil rights activists. We have Jesse Jackson. Did Jesse Jackson show up at the convention, the Democrat convention? I heard them talking about Jesse Jackson. Do you all know whether or not Jesse Jackson showed up? Because I talked in the past and I said, he might surprise everybody. But then I heard his name mentioned at the Democrat National Convention. But then again, I also heard Beyonce's name mentioned. I also heard George W. Bush name mentioned. Who else did they mention that didn't show up? Oh, he was there, Ravens. Sharpton, hi Hawks. Sharpton was there. But it'd be nice to have Jesse Jackson come out and say, hey, he's in a wheelchair. Oh, he was for the, well, I hope so, Ravens. Paracelsus, how you doing? Yeah, he was in a wheelchair. Okay. Well, they're probably just rolling him around where he doesn't even know where he's at, probably. It would have been nice for him to come out and jump ship along with everybody else.
They said Trump is up to 30% with the black vote. I've been saying that. I've said he's at least 30%. I was saying that a couple of weeks ago. Well, it's coming out in the polls now that's what it's showing. That in the crooked, corrupt polls, he's probably even better, a little bit higher than that. I remember that, Roland. Run, Jesse, run. So you never know. You never know. Do I think the botched withdrawal is done on purpose? I had somebody in that comment thread that they said something about the withdrawal, and I typed in there, well, they left that $85 billion there for a reason. You better believe whoever left it there got paid. That's money laundering. That's the way they've been doing it for decades. Oh, Hawks, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know who Bonnie is, but I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't see Looney Clooney. He'll never change over because he's going to be in having some problems with that island, just like Clinton. But anyway, folks, I probably won't be broadcasting tomorrow. If you haven't given me a thumbs up, do me a favor and do that on the way out. And if you're not subscribed, do me a favor and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff that they tell you to do. And I'll probably be going. Now, if something big happens, I will go live, as you know. I will do extra broadcasts as necessary. Wait a minute. James Comey, he's in the news. Guess who James Comey back for president? You'll never guess. It was in the news today. It was in my news feed. Here it is. USA Today. Former Republican FBI Director James Comey backs, drumroll, Harris for president. He's endorsed presidential ticket, the Harris presidential ticket. Writing in a post Friday, Vice President Kamala Harris made me feel like it's finally morning in America. Everyone who cares about the rule of law and America's indispensable role in the world, blah, 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 should vote for Harris and Walz. I will. He's another one. Let me make sure I didn't drop my feed. I'll read a quick another part of this article. It's funny. There's no love lost between Comey and Donald Trump after Trump fired Comey in May 2017. Since then, Comey has publicly denounced Trump as, quote, morally unfit to be president. Then it goes on to say, Comey, once a longtime Republican, threw his support behind President Joe Biden. An endorsement that Biden's campaign at the time was not keen to embrace. This is back when Comey endorsed Biden. This is a letter, a campaign aid for Biden put out. Said, yes, customer service. I just received a package that I very much did not order. How can I return it free of charge? Andrew Bates, Biden's then director of rapid response, wrote on a social media post. So anyway, Biden didn't even want Comey's endorsement. So he's going to be one of the ones getting
getting rounded up. All right. Okay, folks. Well, I appreciate you all spending your precious time with me. And we'll be getting together soon. So let's just watch the show and see who keeps jumping ship or jumping on the ship. Let's put it that way. They don't want to be left at the docks. All right, folks. I hope you all have a great evening. I appreciate you all being with me tonight. And I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.